Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And if you don't like me, you can bite me.
Welcome to episode 370, Bash at the Beach, 1999.
A tidal wave of trash-talking, body-slamming, and tsunami fury. Almost a good tagline. It's maybe the best one in a while.
It's the best one in a while.
Tidal wave of trash-talking and body-slamming is good. Or trash-talking, just trash-talking, body-slamming, it's fine. It's a little longer. But, hey, you got to give them their flowers.
When you can.
Absolutely.
So this is the 6th annual Bash at the Beach pay-per-view produced by WCW. It would take place on July 11th, 1999, from the National Car Rental Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with an attendance of 13,624 and a buy rate of 175,000 people. So they're running about the same numbers as the last pay-per-view that they did.
Yeah. Not WWF, but we all know how this turns out.
Something that would happen right around the same time as Bash at the Beach, American Pie would hit theaters the same weekend.
I saw this one on DVD, of course, because I was not able to get into a theater with an R-rated film. I did not have a car. I was a child. Yeah, I don't know how this movie holds up. I remember how huge it was and how many of those 90s sex comedies just came out, just as a litany of them, and none of them succeeded, except for American Pie and American Pie 2. I never saw American Pie 3. Yeah, this is, like, I was talking about...
if I saw this in the theater. I feel like I would have.
Last week I was talking about how 1999, the snapshots of it, American Pie is maybe the best snapshot of American culture in like youth culture in 99. You just need to take, if you're talking youth culture, take American Pie and The Matrix, make a double feature. It's like, it's like these are the two coolest things that could possibly exist right now. In that mind, in the mindset of somebody.
Just think that, like, literally the term MILF is still a thing, and it really, the first time I think I'd really ever heard the term was in this movie.
Absolutely, and now there's probably a couple 100,000 videos on the internet with that title. Yeah. And, props to Jennifer Coolidge, the original MILF.
The original.
I hope it says it on her tombstone, and I hope she lives forever.
She's still great.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, her and Eugene Levy are like, they're in all the, what's that guy's name? The Best in Show guy.
Yeah. Why can't I think of it?
But either way, they are the funniest people in this movie because for the most part, it's all young, aspiring actors.
Christopher Guest.
But yeah, Eugene and... I already forgot. And Coolidge are just...
Jennifer Coolidge.
Just, comedy titans. Such good on-screen comedy actors.
But I mean, literally all the kids that were in this movie, they all went on to have some...
Well, Jason Biggs fumbled the bag and was in Loser, a movie with rocks in its brain.
I mean... Talking about someone that didn't ever make good decisions.
Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about his personal life, but
on roles.
Okay,
yeah. I think he's finally.
Was he in Saving Silverman?
Yes,
that's a good movie.
But
is that Jason Biggs or is that another guy that was a weaselly brunette?
No, it was him.
Okay, yeah, that movie's great.
But literally, he lives off the American
Pie
movies. And he's just kind of now, he's on a sitcom that I think is ending.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's only exists to be a comedy actor. He doesn't, there's not a whole lot of places for him to go. And the comedy is dead now.
I mean, he was in Orange is the New Black as the husband of the main character.
Oh, really?
That literally means that he's in like one scene in like most of his episodes that he's in.
He shot the whole series in a day.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, no, who's the most successful young male of of American Pie? It's
I mean, Chris Klein did quite a few things.
But it's Stifler, right? What's his name?
I mean, yeah, he's probably the most successful of all of them. I mean, Allison Hannigan's probably the most successful out of all the teenage actors.
Yeah.
Just because, she went on to do Buffy and...
She was already on Buffy, right?
I don't think so.
Because it wasn't... Buffy started before 99, right?
I don't think so. But, oh, yeah, I guess it did. I guess it was 97. Okay. My bad. But then she went on to do, of course, How I Met Your Mother as well.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about that show because I never watched it. But I know people love it.
I mean, Natasha Lyonne was...
I forget she was in American Pie.
Was in American Pie. Tara Reid, Mina Savari, Eddie K. Thomas.
Whatever happened to Shannon Elizabeth? She showed us her tits. We all fell in love, and she ran away.
She was in Love Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's in the very end. Scary Movie.
Oh, she is in Scary Movie. I do remember that.
Let's see here. What has she done recently? She was in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
I think I watched that. I don't remember it.
Haven't seen any of these other things. So American Reunion's probably the last thing I saw. Right?
All right. I've only seen the first two American Pies. Is American Pie good is the question. I don't remember it well enough to say.
I think it's good. I laughed my ass off.
I'm a sucker for...
Because I was 18, so I was able to go see it in the theater.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for some teen bullshit comedies. It's not as good as Can't Hardly Wait, right? I love that movie.
I think it's better. I think it's funnier.
Okay.
Can't Hardly Wait is... I don't know if it's going for the
American Pie
full-blown comedy.
Yeah, American Pie is definitely more comedy forward, and Can't Hardly Wait is a bit more of... It has a bit more of the coming of age vibe. It's more... It feels like it's trying to play with your feelings more. American Pie seems...
It's more crude.
It's definitely more crude.
Yeah.
And I love a stupid 80s... I always call them boner comedies.
Yeah.
Because
literally what American Pie is basically the 90s version of what they got back with Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds in the 80s. Those kind of films. It's all these teenagers just running around
trying to get pussy.
Yeah.
But they don't know what they're doing. That's the whole thing. And it can be fun. Have you ever seen Losing It? That's a fun one.
Yeah.
It's got a young Tom Cruise in it and a young Jackie Earl Haley, I believe. But yeah, a few years ago I went on a tear of just watching the lowest of the low 80s boner comedies. Beach Girls, Joysticks. Those are the ones that come to mind. Mostly Beach Girls because the lead girl just has a rock and rack, but the whole time she's supposed to be the responsible one, and her friends are just stepping over her to throw parties at her grandparents' beach house. And I was like, is she going to take her rack out eventually? And at the end of the movie, she finally takes her rack out, and it is just I just was like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it. And then they did it, and I was like, yes. And I don't even really care that much. But, that was the thing I was emotionally invested in this movie. Just to see that was the storyline of the movie. And I think that was the point. But American Pie's got more heart than that.
It definitely does have more heart.
It's not as crude for the sake of being crude. It's crude from the eyes of a teenager and not from the eyes of an adult trying to please teenage viewers.
Right. And there's the four main films. I think there are a couple spin-offs, but I don't include them. But you have one, American Pie, American Pie 2, American Wedding, and then American Reunion, I believe is.
What's the best of the four?
The original is the best.
I've only seen 1 and 2.
But it does show a full arc of these kids growing up and maturing, but while still maintaining the running jokes that you have to have through sequels and whatnot. So how well do they hold up? That's a different story.
I don't care about... are they still do you still enjoy them? I don't care about like this
I mean,
didn't.
the last time I watched it, I watched American Pie, which was probably 2 or 3 years ago. I still laughed.
Yeah.
At the parts you're supposed to laugh at.
I have zero interest in when I ask that question. I have zero interest in the this aged poorly thing because that doesn't matter to me at all. I meet the thing where it's at, like in time, and you're not going to offend me in that way at all. I'm just when I say that, I mean like is the quality of the piece, like of the art, which I don't was not a word I want to associate with American Pie, but it is, I guess. But yeah, it's like I don't care about. It's like, oh, the jokes, you can't say that. It doesn't bother me. Just is it good? And I don't know if I'll ever rewatch American Pie, but it is burnt into my brain. I got Rolling Stone as a kid, and I definitely remember the American Pie issue.
The soundtrack was pretty good for this movie too.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we have time for all that, but I'm so curious to what's on there.
I don't remember what was on there, but if I remember correctly, I did enjoy the soundtrack.
I bet it's like Sugar Ray.
Oh, definitely. Definitely that's a Sugar Ray.
Damn. Sometimes I feel like we shouldn't even do a wrestling podcast. Because we could easily just go down the rabbit hole on this soundtrack, but...
Yeah, we should move on.
Move on.
Well, let's talk some Bash at the Beach 99. Logo comes on the screen before a video package with Savage, Sid, Nash, and Sting highlights. Pyro then goes off in the arena as Tony Schiavone welcomes us to the show, joined by Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Where's Mike?
And they talk the main event and the new rules that whoever pins Kevin Nash will win the championship, even his partner, followed by a run-through of the rest of the card.
And it's a tag match.
It's a tag match, yeah.
But if you pin Kevin, and even if you're on his team, you can have the title. We're grasping at straws, boys.
Tony then sends it to Mean Gene Okerlund, who hypes up the hotline, before sending it to Mike Tenay, who's 15 miles away at a junkyard for an unsanctioned invitational later in the evening. But we go to our first match. Ernest, the Cat Miller, with Sonny Onoo versus Disco Inferno. And Miller takes the mic to run down Fort Lauderdale, calling them rednecks and telling Disco that they are going to have another dance contest. But the fans like Inferno better, so the Cat attacks from behind, only for Disco to duck and hammer away to a corner, whipping him around the ring until Ernest bails to the floor. And at this point, I think Tony tells us that they originally were going... Stipulation on this match was that whoever lost couldn't dance anymore, but they had gotten rid of that stipulation before the match began.
I mean, Ernest...
Basically because that's all these two guys have, and if you take that away from them, what are these guys?
I mean, Ernest has had... This is just a, like, slight change of his previous gimmick.
Yeah, instead of being just a strictly karate guy with... He's now a dancing.
Yeah, like now he dances and does karate and is a heel, but before he was a like unfair cheating karate heel weasel, and before that he was a face that was less good at wrestling.
Yeah. Back in, the Cat keeps his opponent at bay with karate kicks, but Disco Inferno just tackles him and delivers right hands, multiple atomic drops, and a clothesline for a 2 count. Miller retaliates with kicks and chokes and tossing Disco to the floor, where Onoo gets a few kicks in, followed by Ernest looking to whip Disco Inferno. But it's reversed, sending the Cat into the railing. And they head back inside, where Miller goes low to change the momentum, does some choking and turnbuckle smashes, until a telegraph move allows Disco to nail a sunset flip for a near fall. But Ernest is right back up with a standing sidekick for a 2 count. More strikes and a scoop slam when Disco Inferno avoids a karate chop, biting the hand before a back elbow, body slam, and a second rope elbow drop for a near fall. Disco keeps up the attack with a side Russian leg sweep when a reversed whip leads to a thrust kick for a 2 count by the Cat. And the two trading strikes when Miller rakes the eyes and grabs his dancing shoes.
It's loaded.
Only for Disco Inferno to stomp on his foot to take it away, using it to smack his opponent across the face, making a cover, but Sonny has the ref distracted long enough to only get a 2 count.
Doing his job.
And Disco argues with the ref when Onoo would jump back on the apron. So Disco Inferno delivers a last dance across the ropes to him, only for the distraction to allow Ernest to put the shoe on again, nailing a loaded kick to the head for the pin and the win. Decent opener.
Yeah, but remember when the opener was sometimes the best match on the show?
Yeah. Well, at least the best match on the show is later in the show now.
Yeah, we probably have the same opinion on the best match in the show, but we'll get there. We got a little bit of time.
Mark Madden then interviews Mills Lane at the WCW.com booth.
Can't help it. I popped for Mills Lane as a celebrity deathmatch enthusiast as a child. I was just like, I love this guy. I didn't grow up watching boxing or anything like that. To me, Mills Lane is celebrity deathmatch. I never watched Judge Mills Lane. I was a Judge Judy guy because my grandma liked it. But, yeah. Mills Lane, what a voice.
And Mark knows he had Tyson Holyfield. But how's Mills going to maintain order between Piper and Bagwell? And Lane responds that he's not going to put up with any crap. They have some protocols we will follow. Before he's saying he respects all the athletes. So I'll cut them a little slack. We then go to a video package about our next match, where we see Disco has the pin on Van Hammer, but the ref is out, allowing Hammer to recover for a slam to get the win. And next, we see Flair banning hardcore matches just as Hugh Morris was about to beat Van Hammer. So again, he recovers to clothesline the Laughing Man and Jimmy Hart with a table, followed by a front suplex through the apparatus. Van Hammer then visits the president in his office, saying he's been on a roll and asks for a title shot. So they give him one versus Rick Steiner.
Was Van Hammer just like too nice or had zero brains? Because he's huge and he's not like horrific in the ring. But I guess he's also at a place where they're not interested in like developing talent.
I mean, once Hogan showed up, the old guard takes over and all the young guys kind of just...
Van Hammer's been around for forever at this point.
I mean, but he never was one of those guys.
No. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, if anybody took interest in him, maybe he would take interest in himself.
They're taking interest in him.
They are. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that he's as big as he is and as athletic as he is, but just never... He gets somewhere. He gets to the second match of Bash at the Beach. Take it away, Matthew.
That's right. We go to our second match. Rick Steiner versus Van Hammer for the WCW World Television Championship. And the champion came out first. Foreshadowing.
I know I'm a Rick Steiner guy, but I was like, are they really going to... Is Van Hammer going to get a bump in his paycheck? That was my thought.
Steiner takes the mic to tell Hammer that no one has told him, but he and Big Papa Pump run the show. Because no one else can do anything about it. You want some? Come get some. You don't like me? Bite me. And the dog-faced gremlin drives his opponent to a corner, delivering stiff shots to the face and forearms to the back of the head. When Van Hammer ducks a Steiner line to hit multiple clotheslines and a big boot that sends Steiner to the floor. Back in, Hammer nails a vertical suplex for a 1 count, followed by the dog-faced gremlin hammering and choking away, until he drags his opponent outside, where he runs Van Hammer into a guardrail and pulls up the protective mat to deliver a DDT onto the concrete.
Oof.
And Steiner goes for a cover, with the ref letting him know that that's not a thing that's happening. So the dog-faced gremlin goes after Mickey J, before returning to beating down Hammer, where he low blows Steiner to change the momentum. And they head inside, where Van Hammer hits a corner splash, only for the dog-faced gremlin to retaliate with knees to the midsection, followed by exchange strikes, with Steiner getting the better of it, leading to an elbow drop for a near fall. Crossface blows and rakes of the eyes to continue the punishment, followed by Hammer being thrown outside, where he grabs a chair to whack the dog-faced gremlin.
Oof.
Steiner's rolled in while Van Hammer heads up top to fly in with a clothesline, that gets a 2 count before an attempted tombstone. But the dog-faced gremlin starts biting his stomach.
Weird.
Or maybe lower. To block and nailing a low blow before a massive kick to the balls. Steiner line and a top rope bulldog from the dog-faced gremlin for the pin.
And the win. It happened.
Steiner still not really selling for anyone.
No.
Yeah.
I can understand in WCW how, I don't want to use the word toxic because it's overused, but how messy all the behind-the-scenes politics are. So I can see just having to fight for your spot and using your clout, because if Steiner, if he just didn't, then he just wouldn't be booked. Like if he just wasn't if they weren't trying to appeal to their past and bump themselves up and explain their worth, whether it's true or not, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's just there's a reason the company fails.
We go to Mike Tenay at the Junkyard, where he talks about the Hardcore Invitational, saying he doesn't even know who's going to be in the match.
We'll never know.
As Hardcore Hack laid out the challenge. And Mike continues about the cars being set up to form a ring of sorts, and the winner has to climb a fence and land on the other side to be named the Hardcore Champion.
We'll get to it. Just continue.
Back in the arena, Tony sends us to a video package over our next match, where we see Ric Flair award the United States title to his son, David Flair, before telling a flock of ladies to have at him.
So he just gives it to his son. He did not earn it.
So the Nature Boy, some backstory. The Nature Boy had stripped Scott Steiner of the title in storyline. Basically, Scott's out hurt with a back injury, so he can't perform right now. So they just wanted to get the belt off. And they decide, I'm just going to spoil it here. They did a Shane McMahon thing over in WWF.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do
that here
with David Flair?
What if Ric Flair was Vince McMahon?
Yeah. Which
could work if they thought about it first. If they did it first, then it could work, because Ric Flair's the old guy. If he's the old guy in charge that rules with a iron fist, that works. But the only other competition in the entire country is already doing it and doing it better, and they built to it, and it just feels, shoehorned.
Yeah. So we get our third match. Dean Malenko.
Love to see him.
Versus David Flair. With the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Charles Robinson, Asya, and Torrie Wilson.
Jesus Christ.
For the WCW United States Championship. Nate gives his son some advice before Malenko just shoves Flair down out of a collar and elbow, turning to tell the Prez his son has no talent.
True, I do appreciate Dean Malenko's confidence and the fuck you of it all. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but before this match starts and David gets in the ring, he looks like he's fucked up. I don't know much about David Flair. He doesn't look like he should be in the ring in any capacity.
Yeah.
So, but he doesn't look like he's ready.
Dean with a side headlock, spins around and reapplies the headlock, then drops down and hits a heel trip to just show his dominance. And David grabs a waistlock, only for Malenko to hip toss out of it and remind the Nature Boy how stupid this is.
It's incredibly stupid.
When Flair shoves him from behind, causing Dean to snap and taking his opponent to a corner to stomp away. David is whipped across the ring with Malenko hitting a corner splash, stalling suplex, and looks to apply the figure four, which brings Nate in, only to be punched away so Dean can lock in the Texas Cloverleaf. Arn then jumps in the ring to beat down the ref and delivers a spine buster. While Little Nate takes the stripes off of Johnny Boone and Malenko knocks Anderson out of the ring. Asya then comes in when Dean goes to punch her, but stops to kick her in the gut instead, slamming her down and locking on the cloverleaf, with Asya tapping out. And the Nature Boy jumps back in with the title belt to smash across the head of Malenko, pulling David on top for the pin and the win. Post-match, Nate and the Enforcer continue to stomp away on Dean before leaving to the back.
This was incredibly disrespectful to Dean Malenko. It was incredibly disrespectful to Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. Like, the idea is just so bad that nobody walks out of this all right, and the true tragedy of it all is one David Flair. There's nothing redeemable about this, in my opinion.
Tony then sends us to a video package over our next match, where we see Hennig disrespecting Master P before the No Limit Soldiers are celebrating with Konnan and Mysterio, when the Rednecks have taken over DJ Rand's booth to play their hit song.
Rap is crap.
Hennig then has a gift for Silk the Shocker.
Hell yeah.
A custom-made cowboy hat, only for the Shoulders to assault him with a birthday cake. We then get a music video of Rap is Crap, followed by a live performance.
Give me a break. How long are they going to play it? It's so bad. Like, the vocals are horrendous. The lyrics are stupid. The Silk the Shocker song, remember that song?
Who?
Wait a second. Am I getting mixed up? The 20-inch blades on the Impala? Baller, getting laid tonight?
No clue.
Swish rolled tight? No, that's a different guy. Sorry. It's that era. I'm thinking of maybe something Troy. We can move on. But the Rap is Crap song, they're really pushing it, and it really stinks.
But that takes us to our fourth match. The West Texas Rednecks of Curt Hennig, Barry Windham, Bobby Duncum Jr., and Kendall Windham versus the No Limit Soldiers.
We know no limit.
Of Rey Mysterio Jr., Konnan, Swoll, and B.A. With 4x4 and Chase in an elimination match.
Chase, B.A. At least 4x4 is a thing. Like, it's like, oh, I get it. He's a square.
And we haven't seen B.A., a.k.a. Brad Armstrong, since Super Brawl 8, episode 293.
What a shame that Brad Armstrong is involved in any of this.
Well, they needed another person that could actually wrestle.
Yeah, but Brad Armstrong also should just be on the West Texas Rednecks. What is Kendall Windham doing here?
Being Barry Windham's brother?
True, but Brad Armstrong's a bigger name than Kendall Windham ever was.
Because the last time we saw Kendall in the ring was World War III 98, episode 330.
Yeah, our favorite pay-per-view.
It's literally the first time we've ever seen Kendall in a match other than a World War III
match, yeah. Insane. Poor Brad Armstrong.
So K-Dog takes the mic to do his stick.
Ate it.
Followed by Ray asking for the call of the soldiers.
Hoodoo.
And Barry and Mysterio start us off with Windham hammering away, only for Ray to slide under a clothesline attempt and go for a quebrada, which Barry catches and looks to drop his opponent on the turnbuckle. But Mysterio wiggles out the back to send Windham chest first into the corner. Ray with a hard whip across the ring and knocks Barry down. So he leaps up to the top for a split-legged moonsault that gets a 2 count. And Windham tags out to Curt, who chops away, only for Mysterio to hit a shoulder block and bring in B.A., nailing strikes, drop kick, hip toss, and a body slam. Bobby then tags in to trade arm work with Armstrong, followed by Swoll being tagged in for a bad-looking clothesline.
Hey, buddy. He's not a wrestler. He's just here.
But Duncum Jr. retaliates with a big boot, turnbuckle smashes, corner clothesline, and elbow drop for a near fall. Kendall tags in, only for Swoll to deliver another bad clothesline, grabbing his opponent for a suplex, but Windham hits a low blow mule kick and a clothesline to regain control. And Swoll avoids a charging Kendall in a corner, allowing him to tag out to Mysterio, but the size advantage leads to Ray being beat down by big boots and corner clotheslines. And Ray fires up with basement drop kicks and a springboard Thez press, but Kendall catches him, so Mysterio counters it into a head scissors that takes Windham to the floor.
Did we mention this was an elimination tag?
I did.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Konnan tags in, exchanging strikes with Hennig when he nails a bulldog, followed by Ray springboarding in with another Thesz press.
Better be careful. Austin might sue him.
Glass shatters. Duncum Jr. jumps in. So
in their fucking dreams, the glass shatters on WCW.
Duncum jumps in, so K-Dog delivers a DDT before monkey flipping Mysterio into a drop kick to Curt and whipping him into a Rough Rider to Bobby. Konnan then hits mounted punches to Hennig when Barry jumps in to lay out Ray, leading to Swoll power slamming Duncum Jr., sending him to the ropes, where Bobby ducks a clothesline and bounces off with a crossbody, only for the bodyguard to duck, knocking the Windhams off the apron and returning to make a cover for a 2 count. Mysterio springboards in with a leg drop, allowing Swoll to make another cover for the pin and the elimination.
Ooh.
Swoll then hammers away on Hennig, as you can hear Duncum Jr. doing something with his bell rope on the outside, when they finally switch cameras to see 4x4 and Chase beating him down.
4x4 has the
big old man.
He has the craziest body I've ever seen. His chest is 3 feet wide, and his
it's 4x4.
I know it's 4x. It's crazy. His arms can't lay flat on his body because he's so big.
He looks like the kid from Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Because he can't move his arms.
But there's but full of it's crazy. He looks insane. There's no way that a guy with that body could wrestle.
No.
Because he would just tear. All of his muscles would just pull off of the bone.
Yeah.
And he would cry until he passed out and died.
Inside the ring, Barry drops K-Dog throat first on the ropes, delivers a snap suplex for a 2 count, followed by double team clotheslines with Curt. And Konnan kicks Hennig away when he telegraphs his move, bringing in BA for strikes to all of the Rednecks, including a leaping forearm and a knee lift to Curt. But he runs right into a forearm of Hennig, which staggers him, allowing his opponent to hit the Hennigplex for the pin and the elimination. So Konnan comes in only to be worked over by Kendall with leg drops, clotheslines, and a body slam before coming off the second rope with a knee drop. But K-Dog avoids and nails a rolling lariat, thrust kick, and a sit-out facebuster for a near fall as Barry makes the save. Ray with a springboard dropkick to the back of Kendall's head, sending him straight into a roll-up from Konnan for the pin and the elimination. Barry then comes in to nail a back suplex and a DDT to K-Dog for a 2 count, while 4x4 and Chase beat down Kendall as he's leaving.
He's already out, guys. It's okay if you don't agree on your music preferences.
Windham tosses Konnan to the outside, where Hennig chops away, followed by returning for Barry to lock on a sleeper, which K-Dog escapes with a jawbreaker, only for Windham to retaliate with a clothesline for a near fall. Another rolling lariat and a clothesline from Konnan takes both men to the floor, where they brawl on the outside, with Chase getting involved by picking up Barry and just taking him to the back, with K-Dog in tow, causing the ref to count them out to be eliminated.
Cool. Konnan was like, "You're not pinning me." All right, Konnan.
So Hennig's the only redneck left, getting in the ring where Swoll hammers away, when Barry has made it back to the ring to take a shoulder tackle from the bodyguard, while Curt is taken down by a corner clothesline. Chase is rammed back down as well to remove Windham from ringside once more, as Hennig has decided he's had enough and he turns to leave. The 4x4 is right there, forcing Curt to return to the ring. Swoll with more strikes and clotheslines before putting Ray on his shoulders for a splash onto Hennig for the pin
and the win. I mean, the splash was really tall because Swoll was really tall.
Ray is the only thing in this match.
It was good.
That was good.
And he had his working boots on.
Yeah.
I'll give him his flowers, but if the flower is growing out of a turd, how good could it smell?
Yeah. Tony then runs down the matches we still have to come, where Bobby starts to tell some humorous stories about the Kowalski sisters. But Shivani cuts him off to send it to a video package for our next match.
Tony is the ultimate wet blanket of a human being.
So last week on Nitro, Hack would call out every single tough man on the planet.
Oh my gosh.
Knobs, Bigelow, Raven.
Raven's a tough guy?
Hugh Morris. You want to get extreme? Followed by whacking himself with his cane. He'll see them all at Bash at the Beach. Which takes us to our 5th match. the Junkyard Hardcore Invitational match. And the participants are Brian Knobbs, Cope, who we haven't seen since World War III 98, episode 330.
Dave Taylor and Fit Finlay. The last time we saw them was Nitro, January 25th, 1999, episode 346. Hack, Horace, and Hugh Morris.
Jerry Flynn, who we haven't seen since Uncensored 99, episode 352. Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock, who we haven't seen since WWF Raw, March 22nd, 99, episode 354.
I forgot they even showed up on Raw.
They didn't have a match. They just ran down.
Yeah, that's why I forgot.
To affect a Hardy Boys match or something.
Yep. La Parka and Silver King, who last time we saw was World War III 98. Do you see the theme here? Episode 330. Followed by Mikey Whipwreck and Steven Regal, who we last saw on Raw. November 23rd, 98, 331.
That was when he was the real man's man.
It's just a Junkyard Hardcore Invitational match with that they spent a whole lot of money on, and we're about to get into it.
So Scott Dickinson blows an air horn to start the match, leading to everyone using plunder, fighting atop cars. One vehicle is even shoved off of another.
Which was a cool spot. Essentially, this is a giant circle of stacked old cars with a fence kind of in between them touching. And there are barrels, like metal barrels from like Rocky, just on fire. And
so there's some light happening.
There's helicopter shots. They spent so much money on this. It looks like it came out of a movie I would love, but unfortunately, this is not
very Thunderdome.
This is not shot like a movie. It has its moments, like the car flip, because there's a car on top of kind of teetering on a car, and a dude legitimately flips it over, and it's neat. But mostly, it's guys hitting each other.
Knobbs throws Silver King onto a hood, when Flynn would then use jumper cables to give them a little shock as well.
It looks great.
Followed by King attempting a senton off of one car onto Brian, which he avoids.
Rough.
Rocco's rammed into the side of a vehicle, while Knobbs leaps off a car with a splash to Silver King. Finley's using a bumper. Flynn's using a chair. Taylor's using a trash lid. Everybody's just hitting each other all over the place.
Yeah.
With, like we said, the only light being those barrels and a spotlight from the helicopter above. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to see what's exactly going on.
There's a movie I love called Street Trash. This looks like it should be happening in the movie Street Trash. Except for it's not as interesting or gross or as violent as Street Trash.
Hugh goes for a leg drop from atop of a car to Fit, who moves in time, whacking Morris over the back with some kind of metal object, which I think Bobby calls a transmission, which obviously it wasn't a transmission.
No, because they wouldn't be able to lift that and hit somebody with it.
Jimmy Hart has a helmet on and is directing traffic for the First Family, while more plunder is used by everybody on everybody. Hugh then climbs atop a vehicle to hit a diving elbow drop to Rocco, while Hack gathers several guys to go after someone at the top of a pile of cars, only for that person to dive off with a crossbody onto all of them.
There's really no narrative for this.
No.
It's because, my assumption going in is oh, well, this is just an excuse to let Hack win, because you get into it and, there's no way the way they have this set up, there's no way to shoot a compelling winner. So I'm just okay, well, Hack's going to win. And whoever wins, doesn't matter.
So basically, they showed it in the package for the Van Hammer match, but Flair had banned hardcore matches.
Yes.
So they had to take it
outside,
out of the arena.
Yeah.
And so they have it here.
And it's an excuse to drop fucking $12,000.
Yeah. And Horace tosses Rock into the windshield of a vehicle, followed by Silver King delivering a shot from a bumper to Rocco as well. And Tony Schiavone says they resorted to throwing things at each other. As King is tossed into a windshield, Fit continues to use a trash can lid. Grunge is whipped into a loose hood before Taylor waxing with hubcaps. Mikey has his head slammed into the side of a car, with Morris looking to nail a running splash, only for Whipwreck to avoid. Tires, right hands, low blows, hubcaps, hood of a 57 Chevy are all being used. When Rock drags Horace towards the fence, running Hogan into it, followed by trying to climb over. But Horace is able to pull him back. Fit then stabs Hack with some kind of metal pipe. Dave Taylor has a tire around him, with others smashing bumpers across his back. And Hack and Finley look to be brawling their way towards the fence, when the drunken one opens a trunk and stuffs Fit into it. And all of a sudden, a forklift drives up and picks the vehicle up, only for Finley to escape in time, as the forklift takes the car and dumps it into the crusher, with explosions going off.
They spent some time and money on this. The issue is that there's a couple at the beginning that are kind of fun, and then at the end, there's this big one, but it
gets out of the car way too quick.
Yeah, and it's just too big and too hard to read and look at. Yeah. There's no narrative happening.
So at this point, no one's paying any attention to Fit, so he stumbles his way to the fence and climbs over to be the winner. Hennig! As he's recognized as the first WCW Hardcore Champion.
I'll say this. There were a few neat moments, which are just practical effects.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that they were cutting that much. It felt
like they were filming.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like it was live.
Yeah.
Like, I totally would have filmed this earlier in the day.
I think that they should have filmed it earlier in the day, and there definitely were cuts, but I think they did a good job of streaming it together, but there was no narrative. So it's not interesting, but it's cool that Finley won because we like him.
Yeah. We then go to a video package over our next match. Chris Benoit and Perry Saturn are hanging out in the back when they see something on a monitor and take off running, only for the Jersey Triad to ambush them and beat them down. We then see an 8-man match that happened on Nitro, where Perry, the Crippler, Dean Malenko, and Buff Bagwell have all teamed up to put figure fours on DDP, Kanyon, Ric Flair, and Roddy Piper, until Bam Bam Bigelow breaks it up. And we get more footage of that match where Benoit is being worked over, but he fires up, followed by a moving forward to see everyone brawling at ringside, until Bagwell nails a blockbuster to the Nature Boy for the win. I'm glad that Buff hitting a blockbuster on Nature Boy is in the build-up for our 6th match. The Jersey Triad of Diamond Dallas Page, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Chris Kanyon. And yes, I did say all 3 names, because they have the Freebird rule in effect.
Absolutely.
Even during a match.
It kind of confused me.
Versus Chris Benoit and Perry Saturn for the WCW World Tag Team Championships. The champs came out first. Foreshadowing. And Kanyon asked the crowd, "Who better than Kanyon?" Before DDP takes the mic to remind the crowd that they used to love him, and now they hate him. But one thing is for sure, you'll never forget me. Bada bing, bada bam, bada bang. Did you like the bada catchphrase?
I didn't hate it. I mostly just appreciated DDP as a heel again and him doing it well. Because he should be at the top of the card, but the company's so fucked that I'm glad he's not even attempting it, and instead he's just doing this because it is more artistically interesting, worthy, and he gets to be a heel again. Like, he can't get cheers at the top of the crowd because they're neutering him, so he might as well take boos in the top of the mid card. And he's doing it with 2 talented guys who are capable of feeding him as a heel leader. So I'm happy to see DDP just kind of say, "Fuck you, I'll be over here."
And Perry and Page exchanged tracks to begin, when Saturn would deliver a thrust kick and knock the rest of the Triad off the apron. The Crippler and Bigelow both tag in, with Bam Bam hammering away until he runs into a boot and a drop-toe hold onto the turnbuckle, followed by chops, clothesline, and a dropkick that sends Bigelow to the outside.
How mad is Shane Douglas, the Triad?
Kanyon tags in while Perry returns to wail away, going for a T-bone suplex. But a rake of the eyes blocks, so Saturn then attempts a German suplex, only for the Triad member to grab the ref to block, nailing a back elbow to escape and taunt on the ropes, when Benoit would hit a chop that stuns Kanyon enough for Perry to deliver a T-bone suplex. The Crippler comes in to team up for a double headbutt with his partner, hellacious clotheslines, a snap suplex, and an elevated crab into a catapult, which sends Kanyon right into a forearm from Saturn on the apron. And Benoit keeps up the attack with chops, double clotheslines, and double snot rockets from the champs. Before Perry hits a hair mare, a crippler with a backbreaker, and works the knee on the ropes, followed by Saturn nailing a dropkick and a top rope leg drop for a 2 count. And DDP jumps in to brawl, whipping Perry to the ropes. Kanyon trips him up from the floor, so Saturn rolls out to stalk after the Triad member, only to get caught by Bigelow and Page. Perry's then rolled in where Bam Bam takes control with a one-arm suplex and headbutts for a near fall, before Kanyon tags in for a leg drop to the upper thigh, when Bigelow would return to wear down his opponent with a chin lock, a knee to the gut, headbutts, and chokes. Kanyon comes back in, placing Saturn on the ropes and climbing up, only for Perry to knock him down, causing the Triad member to crotch himself, followed by a super belly-to-belly suplex, allowing Saturn to make the crawl for the
hot tag,
with Benoit cleaning house with drop kicks, chops, and a back elbow, when a reversed whip would send the Crippler to the ropes, where Kanyon nails him from the apron, and Page flies off the turnbuckle with a clothesline. DDP then catapults his opponent into the bottom rope and an elbow drop for a 2 count, before Kanyon leaps in with a sunset flip for a near fall. And the Triad member with turnbuckle smashes and a whip to a corner, where Benoit looks to leap up and over Kanyon, but he gets caught and driven down by a sit-out Alabama slam.
That was fucking disgusting. I was not ready for that. I was like, phew. And then immediately, anytime Chris Benoit takes a head hit that hard, I am reminded of the darkest thing that's ever happened in wrestling. So that one really took me there.
Bam Bam tags in for more headbutts and stomps. Kanyon with a double axe handle and neck breaker for a 2 count. Double team with DDP that gets a near fall before a front face lock that the Crippler fights through to his corner, only for the ref to not see the tag, allowing Page to deliver a powerbomb for a 2 count. Kanyon continues with a body slam and comes off the second rope with a leg drop, when Benoit would nail a desperation suplex. But Bigelow comes in to stop the momentum, only for the Crippler to hit a back suplex and a side suplex, with Bam Bam landing on top of the champ. Bigelow heads up top for a moonsault, but Benoit moves in time and makes the crawl for the hot tag. Saturn with strikes and a belly-to-belly to DDP. Thrust kick to Kanyon and a double clothesline that takes all 3 men out to the floor.
360.
The Crippler brawls with Bam Bam inside the ring when Perry would return to whip Benoit in for a crossbody, only for Bigelow to catch him. So Saturn delivers a drop kick to knock them over with the Crippler on top. The champs then head to opposite turnbuckles to fly off with a splash and a swan dive headbutt onto Bam Bam. But Page jumps in to break up the pin attempt, and Perry blocks a diamond cutter, countering it into a Northern Lights suplex for a 2 count, picking up DDP onto his shoulders for his finisher, only for Page's legs to take out the ref, while Kendall also throws powder right into Saturn and DDP's eyes.
No.
And Benoit chops away on Kanyon, who bumps into Page, causing him to nail his finisher to his partner.
He was blind.
Leading to the Crippler making a pin, but Bigelow puts Canyon's foot on the ropes. Perry then hits a thrust kick to DDP right into a German suplex from Benoit for the pin. And no, Page kicks out.
I can't appreciate how much the crowd is into this enough, Because sometimes they're into the wrong things, and here they're into the right thing.
And everybody's brawling when Paige would toss something into the ring. And as the ref is trying to remove it, the champs whip Bam Bam and Kanyon right into him.
Sandwiched ref bump.
DDP picks up the item, which turns out to be a small metal trash can, smashing it over the head of the crippler. He turns to do the same to Saturn, only for him to avoid, causing Kanyon to take the blow. Bigelow then picks up Perry for a combo flapjack diamond cutter with Paige for the pin and the win. Great match.
These are the best wrestlers in WCW because they might not be the most flashy, although Saturn is a pretty flashy guy. Chris Kanyon is for his size. And by flashy, I mean like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Like they all have big personalities that fit the character they're playing. But as far as putting together a match, like we don't love interference and whatnot, but it's all done so intelligently. The hot tags are perfectly timed to the point where, like, this is a match that holds up today as far as engagement goes, where you're just like, oh no, I'm into this. And they hold the crowd the whole time. The crowd pops on everything. This is wonderful stuff, and I just need things to be half this good throughout a WCW show.
I mean, I don't know if it's because it's WCW or just the lack of like the kind of wrestling that we like to watch through 99 so far, but I kind of want to throw this on the short list.
I would say absolutely, because to what I was about to say and what I'll say now is that this is a match that you'll never see in the WWF.
No.
They won't do this. They don't have guys that can do this or that they will allow to do this.
No, they don't.
They don't. And that is the thing that WCW does have but does not take advantage of. WWF has a single style.
I mean, WCW definitely has the better wrestlers. They just always put them in these dumbass storylines and or overbook everything.
Yeah, and the guys aren't motivated to actually put on
the boots.
Yeah, to put on matches like this. So this is definitely a short list because our favorite WWF match of 1999, it will never be half as physical or technical as this tag match at Bash at the Beach.
Yeah. We then go to a video package over our next match, where we see Judge Mills laying on Nitro saying he's been a part of a lot of crazy fights. So if Mr. Piper and Mr. Bagwell plan on getting it on, I'll be there in California, Florida.
Did he flub it?
Yeah.
Florida?
He started saying California, and then he realized, wait, it's in Florida.
Yeah. He's like, well, I normally work in, like, Vegas.
I just laughed about it a little bit. But that takes us to our seventh match. Rowdy Roddy Piper with the Nature Boy Ric Flair versus Buff Bagwell in a boxing match with Judge Mills Lane as the special guest referee. And Michael Buffer does the announcements. It's the first time Buff Bagwell's ever gotten might be the last time Buff Bagwell ever gets a Michael Buffer announcement.
It's only because Roddy Piper and Ric Flair are walking out.
So,
as well as Mill Lanes.
Let's get ready to get it on. And Buff takes the mic to bring out his own corner person, Judy Bagwell.
So did that also make this the first comedy match that Michael Buffer decided to announce?
Probably.
It's like, whatever. They dropped it to $8,000, but they won't be around very long. I'll take it.
Aren't all Hulk Hogan matches comedy matches if you look at them the right way?
I mean, they are to me.
Followed by Flair giving Bagwell the chance to quit as he's in over his head. Only for Buff to remind Nate about the blockbuster he took 3 weeks ago. Hey, we saw that in the lead up to the previous match.
Yeah, they're doing that thing that we complained about months and months ago where WCW offsets the packages for the matches. Instead of playing them before the match, it's like, oh, we played that before the last match. What are we doing?
And Lane goes over the rules with the competitors. before the bell rings and the first round starts, with both men throwing jabs, until Piper takes Bagwell to a corner momentarily, but Buff responds right back. And neither man is really protecting themselves, with no shots really of substance, when a right hand takes down Bagwell for a standing 5 count.
Roddy's definitely getting more shots, but yeah.
And they wrap up as the round ends, so each man goes to their corner, where Judy wipes the sweat off Buff, while Flair sprays something onto the gloves of Piper.
And Bobby Heenan no-sells it, but Tony talks about Red Hot, a product that wrestlers put on their body before coming to the ring, which Bobby, as a man who loves wrestling, isn't willing to let all the secrets out, and I appreciated that.
The second round begins with Roddy throwing jabs to the face, with the substance getting into the eyes of Bagwell, which blinds him. So Lane wants to check the gloves, only for Piper to stick them behind his back, allowing the Nature Boy to wipe them off.
Yeah, he's wiping them off from the floor. At first I thought he was spraying oil on him, but it's like, why would you want that? Because then it's going to slide off his face. That's the point of greasing a boxer's face. But it makes more sense that it's something abrasive.
And back to the fight, Roddy's hammering away, knocking Buff down to a knee, bringing Judy over to wipe his eyes. And Bagwell is still having a hard time seeing, and he gets knocked down again, making it back up at 5. But in the last 30 seconds, Buff is able to get Piper into a corner to wail away on with lefts and rights, taking Roddy down, only to get back up as the bell rings to end the round. And Bagwell is able to get his eyes wiped clean between rounds, but Piper attacks before the bell rings for the third round to begin. So Judy jumps in the ring and bites Roddy's ear and dumps a bucket of water on his head.
So Buff punches it off
with a right hand, before turning to deck the Nature Boy off the apron as well, followed by climbing to the top to deliver a blockbuster for the pin and the win in a boxing match.
Yeah, I was having a pretty decent time until round 3, where it was just stupid. Everything was stupid. Mills Lane did nothing and is worse for it as a person that's...
He was going to give him some slack.
Yeah, he did say that, but a blockbuster and interference from corner people in a boxing match and a pin. You don't pin people in boxing.
Post-match, Judy chases after Flair, but he escapes into the ring to avoid her wrath.
Yeah, I mean, Ric Flair is an older guy, but...
Probably just wants to climb Space Mountain.
Judy Bagwell is a chubby mother. He could outrun her
easily
in 1999. Today, who knows?
He stumbles around everywhere. So.
I mean, yeah. The man can barely walk, and I hope Judy is happy and healthy.
I don't know if Judy's even alive at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Probably not, but I hope that she is.
We go to a video package over our next match, where Team Madness acts out Savage covering Nash for a 3 count, very sexually, while Kevin calls out Sid to give him a beating. But Vicious talks to the Tron to say he will come out there to take what is his. And this leads to Sid and Macho double-teaming Nash in the ring when Sting would run out to help the champ. And Flair and Piper decide to make the main event a tag match, with Kevin thinking that the Stinger was driving the Hummer, so he doesn't trust his partner.
Yeah, there's nothing more exciting than a tag team main event in 99.
And the Nature Boy wants Team Madness to help his son face off versus the champ as a lumberjack for a match on Nitro, while Nash is thinking more about Torrie Wilson if he wins. And during that match, the lumberjacks end up attacking Kevin inside the ring, but he fends them all off with a taser, kidnapping Gorgeous George, with Torrie just going along for the ride, as Sting looks on from a Hummer in the parking garage. Then, during another Nitro, Savage and Sid are beating down Nash, along with a Stinger. It wasn't shown, but the real Stinger would then come out and help Kevin again, only to receive a powerbomb for his troubles.
This is a schizophrenic person drawing. This feels like a conspiracy theory nutso wrote this. It is so convoluted. We're doing fake stings again.
Yeah.
Like,
why not?
This, you couldn't pay...
Farmers just hanging out in the back.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to understand what's going on. And we don't get paid and we don't have ads. Keep listening, folks.
That takes us to our 8th match. Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Sid Vicious with Team Madness of Gorgeous George, Medusa, and Miss Madness versus Sting and Kevin Nash for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
As long as Kevin Nash is pinned.
Yes.
If not, then it was all for nothing.
Correct.
I will say this about Macho. He is back to... He's got something to do now. It feels like Randy Savage. It feels like a meaner Randy Savage, but he feels like he's moderately inspired considering how we've seen him over the last year or two. So it's nice to see him having a good time.
And Michael Buffer makes the announcements. So let's get ready to see if partners can coexist.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug.
And the Champ and the Stinger have a conversation before the match begins, while Macho has words for George, who seems to have a bruise around her eye.
Yeah, not a good look for Mr. Savage, as he has kind of had a I'm mean to the women in my life thing going on since the Mega Powers. The only person he never did that with is Sherry, because Sherry would beat his ass.
So Savage and Sting start us off with Macho offering a handshake, but the Stinger doesn't accept, when Gorgeous George would just waltz her way to Nash's corner.
The idea being that Macho hit her, so she's turning on him.
Yeah. Which makes Savage upset, so he heads out to grab her, only for Nash to protect her, leading to Sting giving chase to Brawl on the outside, running his opponent into the railing before rolling him in. The Stinger claps the ears, hits an atomic drop, and right hands that sends Macho to his corner to tag out. And Sid hammers away, whipping Sting to the ropes, who ducks a clothesline and bounces off with a crossbody, followed by a clothesline that sends Vicious to the floor. Now back in, the two men are exchanging strikes until a clothesline from Sid takes down his opponent, bringing Savage back for more strikes and chokes from Medusa. Vicious returns for a camel clutch, quick tags, and double teams, when Macho would spit at Big Sexy and choke Stinger, only for Sting to fire up with right hands and a dropkick to make a tag. Nash with strikes to both men, side slam to Sid, knees and chokes, followed by a corner clothesline to Savage.
You know, all the things that Kevin Nash can do.
And the Champ keeps up the attack with his offense, bringing the Stinger back to rake the eyes and kick Macho to the floor, where he runs his opponent into multiple guardrails, only to miss a Stinger splash. Sid then dumps Sting on the barricade before Medusa and Miss Madness shove him into the ring post.
Posted.
Followed by Savage dragging him back in for more chokes. Vicious returns for a scoop slam and a rear chin lock to wear down the Stinger, who rallies to his feet, escaping with elbows, but the two men run into each other, causing Sting to bounce off the ropes with a headbutt to the gut. The Stinger then crawls to his corner for the hot tag, with Kevin clearing house with a big boot, strikes, another side slam to Sid, and sets up for the powerbomb, when Macho would make the save, leading to all four men brawling. Medusa and Miss Madness then jump in the ring as well, only to have their noggins knocked by Sting, followed by Stinger splashes in all of the corners, hitting Vicious, Medusa, Miss Madness, and goes for Savage, but he moves in time, causing Nash to take the blow. Sid is recovered to deliver a choke slam to Sting, while George comes in to low blow Big Sexy, allowing Vicious to slam him down before a Macho flying elbow drop for the pin and the win. And new! Post-match, Team Madness celebrates in the ring as a sign in the crowd is blurred out behind them, while Tony says his goodbyes, and we fade to black.
What did the sign say?
I have no clue. I rewound it quite a little bit just so I could maybe see if maybe they forgot to blur it out at some point.
Or if you could kind of see
a different
through,
angle or something. Could never figure out what it was, but I just thought it was funny that it was blurred out.
It just says Michael Buffer sucks dick.
Works for me. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of Bash the Beach 1999?
This is weak shit, dog. It's one good match, and it is the Triad Benoit Saturn tag match, which was wonderful.
Yep.
Things are either underbooked or overbooked. There's nothing in between. It was cool to see Macho win the belt, but winning it like this doesn't feel
special.
Doesn't feel memorable. It's not exciting. It just feels like a means to an end. It was just nice to see a guy that I have so much fondness for.
Yeah.
Having a good time. He's enjoying this version of Randy Savage, and you can tell. And it was just neat to see him get the belt. It was neat to see him be a heel and get the boos. Nobody wanted him to take that belt off Kevin Nash. I don't know why anybody likes Kevin Nash, but that's okay. But, yeah, there's just... This whole show just feels like a lot of talk and a lot of wasted potential. The worst part is that Savage won this belt, and I don't care what happens next. If Macho Man gets the belt, I should be interested in where we're going. But I really, truly don't care what happens and have no faith in what could happen. Even with a roster that has potential for good storylines.
Yeah.
I just don't, I know I'm not going to get it. And I'm saying that without actually knowing what's going to happen.
So I literally wrote, if this was a Nitro, I'd probably have the same opinion of the show, which is not what you should want for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing of substance here other than a fantastic tag title bout.
Yeah, we're on the same page, brother. You said it more succinctly.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show?
I would say that my favorite thing was that the crowd was doing the right thing and loud when they needed to be. And by the right thing, I don't mean like who I'm cheering for in 1999, but they're giving the heels the boos and the faces the cheers, and
for the most part.
Yeah, but the heels earned it. DDP and Macho are in rare form as far as characters go, unfortunately. It's not going to amount to... It's a hill of beans, brother.
Rey Mysterio and Konnan had some cool double team stuff during their match.
Yeah, they saved that match. It would have been a mess.
Like monkey flipping Mysterio into a drop kick, and then the finish of the match, which is Mysterio diving off of
Swoll's
shoulders,
yeah,
which was cool. During the hardcore match, like it's a mess. We all understand that, but they did do a few things during the match that
they went out of their way to do some stunts,
try something.
Yeah, it's just that
I'm not gonna say it was successful, but
it was. I was intrigued for the first couple minutes because of those things, but the way that it's shot and the amount of people that are involved in it, it falls apart. They're basically trying to do a brawl version or a like street fight version Rumble of the Regal Finlay match from a couple years ago. And there's too many people and the camera's not where it needs to be and there's no story being told. So it was a neat visual if it was on in the background. Mm-hmm. If you're at like a bar and it was on the TV in the corner, you'd be like, oh, what's that? It would catch your eye for a moment. But that's all it is capable of doing.
I don't know if I have anything else good to say about this show.
No, it fucking stinks. It stinks.
So let's move to most disappointing.
All right.
I mean, the first thing is we have many matches that are on this show that I don't even know if they're Nitro quality matches. They might be best for Thunder at best. Like Van Hammer and Rick Steiner, like I mean, Rick Steiner has been so disappointing to me since he's come back that he's literally playing the politics game and he's not selling for it. Like, you can win this match. I have no issue with you winning the match.
But don't bury Van Hammer while you do it.
You don't have to bury the
Also,
dude.
Van Hammer's like 8 inches taller than you.
I mean, Van Hammer, I felt, held his own for what he could.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just like, why keep the man down?
Them trying to do the Shane McMahon with David Flair, I'm just like, really?
It's really upsetting, and it feels...
If, like, David Flair had any charisma at all, then it'd be one thing.
He looks like he's on pills. He looks...
Yeah,
he's so out of it.
He's a zombie out there.
Yeah, it's really bad. And it's upsetting, and it's just hard to look at.
The boxing match...
I had a good time.
It's a comedy match.
I had a decent time, but the third round was such stupid dog shit that it throws, baby out with the bathwater.
I mean, they have to pull in the ear biting thing because you have Mills laying there. So like,
stupid as hell.
I get it.
It makes sense at the time, but if you're gonna do it, you can't also do the blockbuster and the bucket of water bit.
Yeah, and then the final match, the main event. I think the biggest issue actually with the match is that you never have that moment where Sting actually thinks about pinning Nash.
No, and it's absolutely necessary.
And you have to have that if you're going to put that stipulation into the match. It's pointless to have that as a stipulation if you're not going to do it.
You showed him in the Hummer or whatever, and
but then also Sid never really tries for the pin either. Sid literally does a move so Macho can then hit his finisher
I think
to
that
win the belt.
Makes a little bit more sense.
I mean, it makes more sense.
Yeah,
I get it, yes.
Because they are teaming up. Sid is back in the company, blah, blah, blah.
But at the same time,
the Sting thing
it's Sid Vicious and he's
8'10".
Yeah.
He's just a monster.
So, sure, cool. And not having... And sending Mike Tenay to the fucking junkyard. He doesn't even commentate the junkyard match. He's just there for 2 live bits, and then they don't use him the rest of the show. And it's just like...
We need a Mike Tenay on a show this bad.
Yeah. I love Bobby. Tony's whatever. I know you hate him. He's just a failed baseball announcer. Bobby's checked out.
Yeah, as he should be.
And as I've rewatched these, I can see your opinion of Tony. I still have the nostalgia for him.
Yeah, I totally get the nostalgia, but I just don't think that I don't believe that Tony has ever liked, loved, or cared about wrestling. He is a failed baseball announcer. That is all he is to me. And I don't want anything bad for him. I'm glad that he's made his money here. I just think that it's a shame that we couldn't have found anybody better, and that it's crazy that he's done it for so long, and that he did it poorly for a company that shot themselves in the foot over and over again, and people still are like, oh yeah, Tony Schiavone, he's great. Yeah, I would shake his hand, but I would not compliment him.
How about best performer of the night? I mean, it's definitely in the tag match.
Yeah.
Who do you go for?
Saturn or DDP. DDP for character work. Saturn for being a physical phenomenon.
Any of the 5 guys.
Yeah, but those are the 2 that...
not a wrong choice.
Yeah, those are the 2 that stood out to me the most in this match. I like all of these wrestlers a great deal. I love the in-ring work of Chris Benoit. DDP is a incredibly capable wrestler with good instincts and great character work. Saturn is just a guy that can do all the things, and he has a body that looks like he shouldn't be able to do all the things. He's jacked, but just the dimensions of him, he shouldn't be able to be as agile and accurate and impressive as he is. So be one of the 2. I don't care which one, but
I kind of feel like Kanyon was the glue guy in the match.
Yeah, I would give it to Kanyon.
Anytime there was we weren't going through the big moments of the match.
He's top 3 of the match.
It felt like Kanyon was the guy that was in the ring keeping it moving.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Like he's right after those guys. He's the other most important in this match. We can give it to him if we want, because how many times we get to do that for Kanyon? We can do that for DDP and Saturn.
Who better than Kanyon?
Who better?
And most surprising in the night, I don't know if I knew that Judge Mills Lane was on the show until it started playing.
It would be maybe Judge Mills Lane or the absolute snub of one Mike Tenay, who's been the third man since Dusty's been gone.
I mean, maybe the bigger surprise was also my biggest disappointment about the whole Sting Nash thing.
The top of the card.
Like, you can't put that as a stipulation and not do something with it. I mean, but it's WCW, so we know that they don't really give a shit. So
yeah.
So is it that much? It's not that much of a surprise now that I think about it.
It's like I'm not surprised at how nonsensically overbooked the top of the card is.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I guess I was kind of surprised that Macho won the belt, but I immediately understood why he won the belt, which is we get it off of Nash, and Macho will not hold that belt for very long. That's it. And I know it won't go to Sting. So
Let's Goldberg, baby.
He's on his way back, right?
He is on his way back.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projectors on, because we're ready to rumble. This week we're covering Henry Aldrich Haunts a House, released November 10th, 1943 by Paramount Pictures. Directed by Hugh Bennett and written by Muriel Roy Bolton and Val Burton. Starring Jimmy Lydon, Charles Smith, John Littell, and Olive Blakeney. The plot of this is Henry Aldrich and his high school pals investigate a local haunted house. Some trivia for this one: there are 11 Henry Aldrich films made between 1939 and 1944, with this being the 8th in the series. But the first two had a different lead actor. This is also one of the 700 productions that Paramount sold to Universal. So reviews and ratings of this one: IMDb has it at a 6.2, while Letterboxd has it at a 2.6. And I found this review from the Metzinger sisters from their blog Silver Scenes in 2013. Lyndon is a riot, always innocent, and yet always getting himself into mischief. The real star is Charles Smith, who steals every scene he's in. The film plays out like an original Scooby-Doo mystery. And my review is, I kind of agreed with them on most of those points, as I wrote, a Scooby-Doo mystery through and through, complete with scared to the bone sidekicks. My favorite part, though, was that sidekick with his heart beating out of his chest and teeth chattering in a very over-the-top way. The wrestler of this film was Mike Mazurki. It's our 15th time seeing him. And he's playing the goon, who turns out to be the real monster in the haunted house. He has no lines, but he does a great job of being a bigger-than-life foe for our trio of heroes. And I gave this film a 3.0, and I gave Mazurki, his performance, a 3.5.
Hey.
Thought he was very good in his few scenes that he had. If this film sounds interesting to you at all, it is very easy to find. It is out on YouTube. Just type in Henry Aldrich's Haunts a House.
So was this a series? Henry Aldrich was like a...
Yeah,
it was like
just a character with his two sidekicks.
And they just pumped out these mystery movies that are probably like 80 minutes long or something?
Yeah. I mean, I think most of them are probably an hour long. They're
okay.
Complete B-movie things.
Huh. Yeah, I'd never heard of them at all.
Yeah. It was fun. I didn't have any issue with them.
Was it very like live action cartoon?
Oh yeah, completely.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. Scooby-Doo, obviously.
Literally, Scooby-Doo. Like you
this
see
is probably
you see the heart. Like they put something under his shirt.
Yeah,
and so like the heart.
So this is probably the inspiration for Scooby-Doo.
It might be, very much could be.
It did, definitely. They definitely were aware of it.
Next week, we're going to watch the very next night, WCW Monday Night Nitro from July 12th, 1999.
Can they
see the fallout from the show?
Can they change our opinions? Can they go in a direction that compels us?
We will find out. Music from this week's show is Blood Power by Zach Tempest. And Macho won our main event. So we play What Up, Mach by Jimmy Hart and Howard Helm.
I hate that he doesn't use pomp and circumstance. It feels so wrong.
Sorry.
But I'm glad
it's the new character.
It does. I appreciate that this, because the last time he was around, it felt like nothing. At least it feels like something, even if we don't love the everything around it.
Yeah. And if you like this episode or any of our own, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts at. I do need to mention that if for some reason you can't find an episode on Spotify, it's Spotify's fault. They don't like certain music, and I don't care enough to go out there and re-edit an episode just so Spotify will like it.
No, it'll be on YouTube or any of the other pod aggregators or whatever you call them.
Every once in a while, I'll have a podcast that I listen to that for some reason is not on my podcast aggregator, so I literally will go to Apple and or Spotify to sometimes listen to them if I want to listen that bad.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. If you listen on Spotify, it happens sometimes. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or recipes, we're going just down the road to Jacksonville, Florida for next week's Nitro. But you can send any of those things to our email at WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO
X.
We'll talk to you next week.
Laters.